What's good, y'all? We back with another video, man. How y'all doing? If y'all doing great today. Today we got top 10 dark things the church refuses to talk about. If we get into the video, see what happened, man. Yeah, man. Let's see what the church refused to talk about. Get into the video.
From Operation Snow White to ongoing exorcism.
Melissa.
Here are your
You know what I'm
top
saying,
10 dark
Melissa?
things the church
you at?
refuses to talk about. In our number 10 spot, we
Just
have the
playing, bro.
Vatican
God,
Library.
just
The
playing.
Vatican Library is a very secret library
Vatican. I heard about
closed
the Vatican.
to the public. The only people that have access to it are popes and people that have gone through a lengthy screening process. And even then, they need to know exactly what they
if they open their jumps to the public, bro, the whole world will be in
shambles.
shambles.
Given info on
Facts.
what they ask
These are not
This
fictions,
library
facts.
is the top
All
secret
facts.
library with history and documentation since the beginning of time. The amount of dark gossip that is within those walls, I'm sure, is exponential. From the little that we know, the Vatican Library holds letters from world leaders throughout history detailing major events that us little guys will probably never be privy to. I'm sure they even have documentation on alien sightings. The church refuses to talk about what they have and know, and it's really just a shame. I'm a history lover myself, and truly that would be a magical experience to be able to explore this library. Ah well. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to be recommended more content
Subscribe.
like this. In our number 9
them.
spot, we have
And, you know,
Operation Snow
Yeah.
White. On June 20th, 1977, Michael Meisner, a Scientologist, contacted the FBI after allegedly being held captive for months. He revealed that he was a part of the biggest infiltration of the US government in history in something called Operation Snow White. On July 8th,
Operation Snow White.
1977,
Never heard of
156
it.
FBI agents entered a Scientology center in LA in the largest FBI raid in history. It was discovered that 5,000 Scientology agents infiltrated the IRS, the US Coast Guard
Dang.
Intelligence, DEA, etc. There were bugged offices, planted false information, stolen files, and so much more found. Apparently, the goal of this initiative was to
That sound
remove
crazy.
any bad reports about
This don't sound like what happened to that
Scientology.
man who
Some of the
got
founders
sent
were
to Russia.
sentenced to a few
He
years
couldn't
in
even come back
jail
over here
because of
to
these
the US.
crimes. They definitely want you to forget about this, but I'm sure they have done it again, and I'm sure other churches and organizations have done the same thing. We just haven't heard about it, and perhaps they haven't been caught. In our number 8 spot, we have exorcisms. This one shocked me. I knew that priests could do exorcisms, but I didn't realize that this is something that they do much. I truly thought that exorcisms were done more often in the movies to young girls doing the crab walk
Feel
down
me,
the
bruh?
stairs. Yeesh, thinking of
Crazy,
that scene
though.
gives me the shivers. Anyways, apparently the Vatican had a
Like,
chief exorcist named Father
what that movie
Gabriel
called?
Amorth, who had
Insidious?
served over 60 years to the church and had performed over 160,000 exorcisms.
160,000?
Excuse me? Wow. How have there been that many people infiltrated by
God
demons?
dang, bro.
And this info isn't more
Someone
widely
gotta be faking,
talked
bro.
about.
There's no way
Also,
every single
that
one
is
of y'all
just
possessed.
this guy's number. Apparently,
Gotta
popes
be kidding me,
and
bro.
priests around the world perform exorcisms
Hey,
all the
yo.
time. I'm shooketh. I could understand
oh
that
my
the church
God, bro.
wouldn't want to talk about this because it is a private, very sad thing to happen to a person, but man, that's a lot of people walking around feeling like they have demons within them. Pretty scary. In our number 7 spot, we have His Holiness. His Holiness was a book that was released to the public in 2012, which is based on the secret leaked papers about Pope Benedict. Apparently, the private documents were leaked by the Pope's
Benedict.
butler. Yikes. Apparently, after an investigation, it was discovered that the individuals who were not from the Vatican were blackmailing gay bishops because they had broken their celibacy vows. The Pope went on
Oh.
to resign after these documents became public. Well, this is definitely a scandal, that's for sure. I remember people
kill,
talking about
bruh.
this when it was happening, but I don't remember hearing the church comment on it.
Are you driving way less than you used to? Do you
Bro, get off my screen with these ads, bro.
But I guess
Are you
they sort
driving
of
way more
did
less than you
through
used
their
to? No,
actions,
I'm
and I'm
driving the
sure
same.
Pope Benedict
Still.
was encouraged to resign. In our number 6 spot, we have the dead man on trial. This is a little
Dead man
piece
on
of history
trial.
that truly terrifies me and is such a testament to those times. In 897 AD, a literal dead man was put on trial. The man had been dead for 7 months. He had been dressed for the occasion by someone whom I'm sure was traumatized afterward. His name was Pope Formosus. He was being put on trial for acts that he had committed in his life. He had a lawyer and
this don't make no
he
sense,
was found
bro.
guilty and stripped of his former title as Pope, and everything he formerly did was declared void. His body was stripped of his clothes and put into rags before he was thrown into a river, the Tiber River in
Bro, he's
Italy,
already gone,
specifically
bro.
because
Like,
this river
what?
was where a lot of criminals' bodies were disposed of. Pretty gross. I wonder if there are any ghost haunting stories from this river. I bet you there are. In our number 5 spot, we have the Vatican Bank. The Vatican Bank has had its fair share of scandals over the years, and you best believe that the church will not be bringing any attention to it by speaking about it in any way. Allegedly, to start off the scandals, it is said that the Vatican Bank received a church tax from Germany's leader during World War II, if you catch my drift. Also, allegedly, a large amount of money was paid to the IOR so that the Western banks couldn't track the Vatican's spending. The details have never been released to the public, so Lord knows where they put their money. But why would you want to hide your money in the first place? Perhaps so that no one would know what you're up to if you're up to no good, but also possibly because someone might be a threat, and that might be a reason to shield what you're doing. Either way, the secrecy is questionable.
Like, why do you always like keep yourself in secret? Like,
in the church.
just let people know. Like,
Researching for this
I don't see
video,
what
one of the
this is.
things that shocked me was the
They
amount of
already know
people
what's
that
gonna
spoke
happen.
about how the
It's
churches do
over.
not handle mental illness very well. You would assume that it would be approached with love and compassion and guidance to get help. But the common theme is that people have been told to just pray and it will make the illness go away. Some believe that this thought process stems from the very old thinking that mental illness stems from demons being in one's body, and so people are being told to pray them away because that's what was always done if someone needed, an exorcism or to get rid of an attached spirit. The biggest problem is that issues go untalked about. The people bottle it up inside, and when prayer doesn't work, the person dealing with the mental illness feels like a failure or like they don't have enough faith. Hopefully this is something that churches of all religions work on improving, as this is just unacceptable at this point in time. In our number 3 spot, we have shame. Within many religions, there has been
that right there
a
just
lot of
exposes a
spiritual
lot. You
criticism,
gotta
which
think
has
about it,
led
though.
to emotional harm within the church communities. I'm not talking about outsiders passing judgment, I'm talking about religious community members passing judgments on each other. This bad behavior is committed under the banner of spirituality. From practices of shaming members if they don't fulfill religious expectations, to bad-mouthing members who have left, making people want to stay out of fear. Scientologists have been accused of doing that to members that have tried to leave, but also other churches have been accused of this as well. It's super unfortunate to hear that in communities that have, the core purpose of being loving, they are people that are shaming each other. Talk about not practicing what you preach. In our number 2 spot, we have misusing their power. In recent years, it has become public knowledge that the French clergy took advantage of more than 200,000 individuals since the 1950s, mainly males. The Catholic Church has been accused of turning a blind eye to this
church
happening,
already
and
really about
many
money,
have
bro,
been
at this
outraged
point.
that this went on for so
all
long
just-
without
it's
someone
all a
stepping
business,
in.
bro.
Allegedly, it wasn't
For
until
real.
the 2000s that some progress was made. Before that, the church showed complete indifference to the victims. Through a series of investigations, 2,700 victims gave testimonies about what happened to them, and thousands were identified through archives. A wide-range study showed that there could be up to 330,000 victims. In recent years, about 2,900 to 3,200 priests have become suspects to these crimes. Wow. Truly despicable. I hope that there is some kind of justice for these victims. In our number 1 spot, we have
there's
the
not gonna be
Salem
no
witch
justice, bro.
trials. Most people believe that the witch trials
I
were
heard
a
about the witch
result
trials,
of many
though.
things. Bad weather, a poor government, and paranoid leaders. But what a lot of people may not be aware of is the idea that the Catholic and Protestant churches possibly used the trials to compete with each other for followers. Pretty dark. History.com
Could've
reported
been.
that economists Peter Leeson
Could've
and
been. Now I
Jacob
think about it, it
Russ
could've
believe
been,
that,
though.
quote, the two churches advertised their finesse at persecuting witches as proof that they were the best church to join if you wanted protection from Satan. Witches, after all, were doing the bidding of Satan, so getting rid of them was a way to protect people from them. Wow. Well, that will definitely persuade one or two people, that's for sure. It has also been noted that the Catholic Church did
If you
not
gullible,
fear
you gonna
or
fall for
acknowledge
it, though.
witches in history until the Protestant Church
then, yeah.
became a competitor threat. Well, that's all the time I have for you today, folks. I'm
Man.
Liz and I hope that you have
John crazy, bro, because it's way more stuff than they could have said in this video too, bro. But at the end of the day, bro, they gonna hide it. They gonna hide the truth. But they gonna tell you to you in plain sight, but you just gotta like find it, bro. If you really wanna find it, you'll find it. But hope you got like the video. Yeah, man. See y'all tomorrow, man.